I wanted to share a story with you about my past and about how I came into this industry of health and nutrition through a very unfortunate event, but probably necessary to catapult me into exactly what I do today. But you know, as a kid, I had loved classical ballet, and all I wanted to do was to be a ballerina. And I started movement classes when I was about 4.5, and that developed into classical ballet over years until eventually I got to attending University of Cape Town Ballet School when I was 18, and then getting into the ballet company in Cape Town. At the time was called Cape Hab, when I was 19 years old. Now, in terms of me physically, I'm not really built for classical ballet. I'm not tall, I'm definitely not willowy, I'm quite muscular. And so I got into the company, and it was good for a period, and then I started getting tackled for my body, for my weight. I starved myself. I tried smoking instead of eating. I tried sticking my finger down my throat. I tried taking laxatives. 1 year during a particular production, the director pulled me out of a dance piece and told me, she looked me in the eyes and said to me, "Your body's disgusting. You look like a pudding." It was the most shocking and brutal experience. I didn't know what to do with it, in the sense that if I wasn't going to be a classical ballet dancer, what the hell was I going to be? Because that's all I'd prepped for all my life. And of course, I was so ashamed of being pulled out of this. And the whole company knew. I decided to resign because I couldn't see myself damaging myself to get what it was they were looking for. They clearly weren't interested in trying to help me achieve an ideal, because no help was offered. It was being ashamed about my body that I struggled to, even though I had this sense of having a decent shape, I couldn't value it myself. And so I spent the next, 15, 20 years just using my body as a means for external affirmation, until I made the decision that I couldn't continue to rely on my body as a means of validating myself, or offering myself value, or seeing my value in the context of what I offer others. That has nothing to do with my body, right? It's got to do with who I am and the essence of me as a person. I did quite a lot of work with a therapist. I tried to sort of pull apart a lot of stuff that I had grown up with in terms of perspectives on things. This was huge amounts of work to unpack and start to understand. I'd always just been this really driven, ambitious, motivated, but quite harsh person. And so for the first time to step back and kind of be there, it was quite an interesting experience. But I worked at it. I really wanted to get to that point where I could understand that my value, the value of me, Tanya, was different to the value of my body. And obviously in my industry, my body is very valuable because it shows that I know what I'm doing. But at the same time, very hard not to use that to validate who you are. And so I understand when I'm working with clients who have this thing where they say, look, when I've lost the weight and when I'm the right number on the scale, when I'm wearing the right size clothes, I'll be happier. But it doesn't work like that, because if you either value yourself or you don't. Learning to love yourself in the moment for everything you are, the essence of you, doesn't mean you can't change your body shape. It just means that you have to love who you are. We have to kind of separate these two things so that we don't dump all our hang-ups about ourselves into this area here and then use it to self-sabotage our efforts to get the body looking better. We have to learn to love ourselves independently of our body, because our bodies are just bodies and they don't really say anything about who we are. It's never easy, the learning to love self. I'm getting older and things are starting to change, and I'm noticing that in my body. And so I'm going to have to be saying goodbye to a lot of the things that I've always enjoyed about my body shape. Whether you've got great shape, you're aiming for great shape, whether you're somewhere in between, we all have the same amount of work to do on the self-love stuff. And I would love to help you and guide you and support you and take you through that journey so that you pop out the other end in a much better place from a point of view of how you feel about yourself. We can get the body stuff working really comfortably easy by just applying a set of rules that should see you succeed without any problems.